because you're doing them a favour. You're not inviting them to a BNI meeting. You're not saying, come along and spend 20 quid and talk in front of a load of people, eat some questionable food, drink some tar. Right. We're all green members. We all know the benefit of BNI. We all know the benefit of growing a chapter to get more referrals. We all know the benefit of inviting visitors. Now, I'd like to give you some ways that I've been inviting visitors lately, that we do some stuff at Chester that other chapters can do. Some of them are a little bit odd. They might not be what you've been taught at BNI training. In fact, some of them might be, you can't do that. Would it be okay if I share them with you? Yeah? Yeah? Is that all right? If I say something that you think is completely against what you've been taught before, don't get up and walk out. Just hear me out till the end. Is that okay? Yeah? Yeah? Now, who loves inviting visitors? Yeah. We've got a few hands. Okay, more importantly, who doesn't like inviting visitors? Come on, be honest. Be honest. Yeah, there's all the people that haven't invited one, yeah. Because there's that problem, isn't there, where you invite a visitor and they don't want to know. They're not interested. Hey, do you want to come to BNI on Thursday at 6:45 in the morning? And you've got to really be there by about 20 past 6. And it's going to cost you 20 quid. And you're going to have to get up and stand and talk about your business in front of everybody else. Do you want to come?
I had that exact same message from you.
The exact same way. You didn't have that message from me. You did not have that message from me. You had a very, very different message from me. Because Tom is one of my visitors who joined. And when Tom came, he had no idea it was BNI. Not a clue. I'm going to give you some examples of how that works first of all. Now, the first one, there is one chapter other than Chester that does this in the region, which I think is Grosvenor. Grosvenor has an Eventbrite.
Yeah, we do.
The rest of you do not. Eventbrite is a free, very easy way to get visitors coming directly to you. So you do not have to do a thing. You do not have to promote BNI. You do not have to talk to people about BNI. You do not have to phone anybody. You do not have to email anybody. They come to you. Doesn't that sound easy? Wouldn't it be nice if you had visitors just signing up to you automatically, maybe even paying to join your chapter to come and visit? Doesn't even matter if they turn up then, because they've already paid. You've got the money. Happy days. Let me show you what that looks like. This is our listing for BNI Chester on Eventbrite. We've set the price. I think we've currently got them so that the visitor pays the Eventbrite fee. But you can set it so that you absorb the Eventbrite fee if you want. So our meeting is 20 quid. We could have it 20 quid and take the fee out. It goes straight into the Eventbrite account. It then gets transferred to your BNI bank account after that meeting happens. So you don't get the money straight away, in case there's some confusion about wanting to cancel an event, but don't worry, there's no refunds anyway, so don't worry about it. After the meeting, so if somebody signed up for our meeting this morning, they'd have paid online, they'd have come this morning, the money would have been transferred to Chester's BNI bank account tomorrow. And we didn't have to do a damn thing about it. Now, which chapters are going to be starting Eventbrite now? Is Roman going to start one?
I recommended this when I joined BNI.
Did you? And they didn't listen to you?
They didn't listen, so
they didn't.
They didn't listen.
Is Merseyview going to start one?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is, what else have we got? Waterways? Chester Bridge? You're going to create one? Fantastic. Here's the results. 52 people have signed up to visit Chester BNI through Eventbrite. I have no idea who they are. Not a clue. They just sign up and pay, turn up or don't turn up. It doesn't really matter because we've got the money. It's not about the money, obviously, but we've got the money. And we haven't had to do a damn thing about it. 366 quid has been taken. It's like that because we weren't always 20 quid. We've had this for a while. We used to be £16. Before that, it was £12.50. And we also did one event where we listed it for free for what we call a visitors day. Has anyone had visitors days? Rubbish, don't do them. You have visitors days, you get a load of people turn up for free. You know those kind of networkers, they'll go anywhere for a free breakfast. Are they going to join? No. They need to have skin in the game. They need to have paid to value it. If something's free, you don't value it. If you're paying 20 quid for it, you value it. Visitors days just get loads of people in the room who then you'll never see again. And yeah, it is Grosvenor, is the only other one that has it. So people go onto Eventbrite, they search for networking meetings in their region, in their area. If you're on there, you show up. If you're not, you don't. So it's just Chester and Grosvenor currently showing up for these. The rest of you need to create one. Takes about half an hour, costs you nothing. Gets you free visitors. Would you like another one? Would you like another tip that's that good? Yeah? Sorry? Yeah. Yes? Would you like another free one? Yeah. One where you haven't got to do anything and people just come to you? Yeah. Okay. Who's got one of these? I'll give you a clue. It's just Chester. Roman hasn't got one, Merseyview hasn't got one, Chester Bridge hasn't got one, Waterways hasn't got one. They take half an hour to an hour tops to set up. People find you automatically when they're looking for networking meetings on Google Maps, on Google, on their phone. This is what it looks like. If you search for BNI Roman, you don't get one. If you search for BNI Chester, we get all of this, where people can leave reviews, people can see directions to the venue, people can click directly through to the website to register. That's the Eventbrite thing I talked about earlier. And it costs you absolutely nothing. Set it up once, it's done. Look on a desktop, if you search for BNI Chester Bridge now, so maybe you've heard of BNI Chester Bridge and you'd like to visit, you get BNI Chester, because Google associates it as the same thing. So if you don't create one, we're going to keep getting people who are looking for you as visitors anyway. Yes, Megan?
If somebody searched BNI Chester anyways, knowing that BNI Chester Bridge is in Chester, how do we sit above you? Or like how
well, now we're getting into technical SEO questions.
Would they always find you?
Not necessarily, no. If it's set up named correctly and they're searching for Chester Bridge, yes. If they're searching for BNI Chester Bridge, you would probably get them both pop up in a map listing here. Right. And they could choose. But if you haven't got one, you get that. And they find us. Now here's some stats. 365 people have clicked on links within that business profile. That's 365 potential visitors that you guys haven't had. 272 direction requests. People have found Chester BNI's profile. They're looking to get to Chester BNI. Oh, look, they can go from their phone, bang, directions straight there. They do it because it works. If they're trying to find your venue, they can't do that. Chester, they can. And we've got 93 website clicks, 93 people. This is in, what's that, 6 months? April to September? April, May, June, July, August, 6 months. 93 people have clicked through to the website after searching for it and finding that listing. And when they click through, they find this, which is a one-page landing page for Chester BNI. That button there to book your visit opens up the Eventbrite listing. So they can choose their date, book a visit, and pay. Whether they come doesn't matter, they've already paid. Now, if you've been to those BNI trainings, and you may have done these, I know David Williams always used to do them, where they talk about where you fill in your profile on BNI Connect, and it populates the official Cheshire West website, and how it's really good for search engines, and it'll rank above other things in Google. No, it won't. This is the top listing, as you would expect. This is the thing that people are going to find. If you don't have one, you won't get one. Do you have a domain name for BNI Roman?
We did.
You did? That's it, you pass the book, that's fine. I keep looking at you because I know this is kind of your responsibility.
Like I say, when the other companies got the domain and there was a whole thing about billing, so
Yeah.
Delegate as usual. Just listen carefully.
Single page, doesn't take long to create, gets people booking directly. Every BNI chapter should have one, not just in the region, across the UK, across the world. We would all get more visitors if we did this. We would all get a lot more visitors if we did this. I've shown you the figures already. And I say it looks like that. So that's chapter-wide groups. Now, you don't all need to do this. It's one person in each chapter needs to take responsibility for this. One person needs to take responsibility for this. Would you like some tips on inviting visitors yourself?
yes.
Yeah? Okay. What's the first rule of Fight Club? Don't talk about Fight Club. What's the second rule of Fight Club? You don't talk about Fight Club. It's the same rule. Repeated. It's the same with BNI. The first rule of inviting visitors to BNI is you don't talk about BNI. And the second rule is you don't talk about BNI. This is absolutely against all the training you'll have had on inviting visitors to BNI. I did this as an actual training that you could register for on BNI Connect online. You should have seen the kickoff with BNI members. You were on there, Kieran, weren't you? The kickoff, members from around the UK. He can't be telling people to do that. This is ridiculous. I think that's unethical. I think that's not the sort of thing we should be doing. Yeah, but it works. You're not lying to anyone. What's the advantage with telling somebody that you're inviting them to a BNI meeting? None. What's the disadvantages? Maybe they've been before. Maybe they didn't like it. All BNI meetings are different. They all have a different culture, a different style, a different ethos. They're all run in different ways. Same structure, yes, but they all slightly different ways. Maybe they've been a member before and it didn't work for them. Maybe they've heard from a friend that BNI is a cult. I had that name this morning from one of our visitors. I heard it was a cult. She's still going to join. She heard it was a cult. There's nothing to be gained by telling people it's a BNI meeting. You're offering them the opportunity to meet a load of business owners that are going to help grow their business. So here's one way you can do it. You've seen those posts on social media where people post on and saying, who wants to come to my BNI meeting this week? Complete waste of time. Doesn't work. What I have done, who would you recommend for supplying and fitting patio doors? I needed patio doors fitting. There isn't somebody in my BNI chapter that does it. I could go to the wider region. Why not get a visitor out of it? Who can you recommend? Our house is currently having some work done, blah, 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 blah. Makes sense to have the patio doors. We've thought about actually having installed now. House is a bit of a building site. Yeah, Pride in the Port. Anyone? No, stay out of Pride in the Port. It's a cesspool. Usually for Pride in the Port, I'm looking for someone good quality views before rather than someone reasonably priced, which is what you usually get in these Facebook groups. What happens after this? 69 comments. Do you know what that is? 69 people tagging in someone who can do this job. 69 people tagging them in. That's people recommending visitors to you, which you then need to go to and say, you've been recommended in Pride in the Port. I'm looking for someone to do this. Can you meet me for a quote? And I'll show you a very specific example of exactly how I've done that turned into a member. We're looking for a cleaner who can do regular cleans of our office on Rossmore Business Village. You can see from the photos there are 2 floors with a training room and a meeting room. We need someone reliable who can do the whole interior regularly. If you can recommend someone, please let me know. And that's what the post looked like with the photos. And that was put in a local Facebook group. You all have local Facebook groups. There's probably some higher class ones in Chester than there are in Ellesmere Port. 74 comments of people recommending cleaners. 74 people being tagged in to that post for cleaners. And 3 shares. I sent them all a message. This is the example of one of those messages. Hi, you were recommended in a post in Pride in the Port. Do you do work for landlords? Or do you do regular work for landlords and letting agents as well? Now they're going to have 2 responses to that. Either no, I don't, but I'd like to, or yes, I do. Which is handy if you've got a letting agent or a landlord in your chapter. as when I did this, we had. Hi Darren, yes, it's something we do. What is it you're needing? It's nice to see we're being recommended. They're happy about it because they've been recommended. I've asked them if they do work for landlords. They'd like to get in front of landlords. She's delighted. She's not running away. Oh, bugger off, I don't want to go to BNI, stop asking me, because I haven't mentioned BNI. Perfect. I've got a couple of rental properties in Ellesmere Port and a couple in Birkenhead. It's cheap. A couple in Birkenhead. I'm always having to look around to ask for recommendations whenever I need work doing. I'm meeting up with a letting agent friend of mine this week, which I am. And he doesn't have anyone regular he uses either, which he doesn't. There's quite a few property investors who'll be there, which there are. Kieran was one of them. We've also got an electrician, carpet cleaner, a carpet fitter, but nobody offering what you do. Would you be interested in meeting them? What do you think she said? Yeah? Not bugger off, stop asking me, I'm not interested in coming to a network meeting. I don't want to turn up at 6:45 in the morning, pay 20 quid and stand up and talk about my business. No, because I haven't talked about any of that. Oh, that sounds great, Darren. Yes, most definitely interested. And she came along. She didn't know it was BNI. Her name was Natalie Chadwick. She told me, had she known it was a networking meeting, that she had to stand up and talk in front of everybody, she would not have come. As a lot of people won't. But she came, she loved it, and she joined as a member. And she's a client of Paul. Yet the other bonus of getting visitors in the room is that they can actually become your clients, and you get money out of them, which is nice. They could also, they could get work out of you, you get work out of them. It works both ways. That's how you invite visitors on social media effectively so that you don't get told to bugger off. Would you like one more tip?
Yes.
A brilliant one. I love this one. This is something I shared on Ivan Meisner's podcast, episode 830. Little plug there. If you haven't listened to it, check it out. It's really cool. Using a member in the room as bait. I love the concept, using somebody as bait to get somebody else in. Mike's perfect for this. Perfect. Because you are also a letting agent. If you're in front of a trade, rather similar I did on the messages there for the social media, you're talking to maybe a carpet cleaner would be more useful. Do you get a lot of work from landlords? Do you get a lot of work from letting agents? I'd love to get more work from letting agents, actually. It's where I get a lot of regular work from. Tell you what, I'm meeting Mike on Wednesday in Chester. He's student rentals. Loads of end of student cleans. I could drop you his email and play email tennis and you back and forth with him, but you might not get hold of him because he's really busy. Tell you what, why don't you come with me? Come with me tomorrow to Chester. I'll personally introduce you to Mike. You can tell him what you do. He might be able to put some work your way. How's that? Who says no to that? Who says no to that? No. Because you're doing them a favor. You're not inviting them to a BNI meeting. You're not saying, come along and spend 20 quid and talk in front of a load of people, eat some questionable food, drink some tar. You're offering to introduce them to someone, doing them a massive favor that could really benefit their business. Letting agents are great for this. Estate agents are great for this. Architects are great for this. Wedding planners are great for this. Digital marketing companies are great for this. People who are at the top end of the funnel when they give work out. So event planners would be giving out work to photographers, giving out work to videographers, giving out work to florists, giving out work to venues. Digital marketing companies give out work to copywriters, give out work to graphic designers, give out work to videographers. Letting agents give out work to plumbers, to builders, to carpet cleaners, to carpet fitters. The kind of people they can't get in front of without your help. That is how you invite visitors to BNI. Do not tell them it's BNI. But I didn't tell you that because that's not allowed within BNI. Any questions? Who's setting up an Eventbrite tomorrow? Who's setting up a Google business profile tomorrow? Fantastic. Thank you very much.